Mr. Cox, another week, man. How you doing?
Hey there, sir. What's going on? How's everything going?
Man,
Like I
everything.
said, another week, another NFL week, another big news week. A lot of stuff to try to jam pack in here in 45 minutes to an hour. Uh, we may get guests, we may not, but as usual, you and I will keep it going.
Yes, sir. As
We
always,
keep it
man.
going. Tell us what we're going to talk about today.
We're gonna talk about the NFL week. What's that? Week 3. We're gonna talk a little bit weekly topics and some politics, man. We're gonna kind of keep it on track this time. Make sure we stay within our time limits. But thanks everybody for joining us, and let's get it going.
Make sure that you
Oh,
subscribe and like, and go ahead and tell them where to do it at.
yeah, thanks for a reminder, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely subscribe. But we're also on X at Gents Making Sense, and we're on Spoutable at Gents MS. We always put up our content a day or two after we have our show, and then you can go to YouTube and see the full episode. But we need subscribers, man. So please subscribe. Every time we put something out, you'll get a message from us.
Do it now, or I'll hunt you down.
There you go. Do it now, or we'll hunt you down. Like you said, we're going to talk about the third week in the NFL. We're going to talk about the fake. Last week we had this segment about fakers and takers, and so we're going to kind of take a look at how our predictions, went, and how things are shaping up. And then we'll take a quick look at the power ranking in the NFL. Okay.
Yeah,
So
let's do it.
let me give you a recap. Last week we talked about the fakers, the Chargers, LA Chargers, the Vikings, New Orleans Saints, and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll let you take it on first. What you think? You can go down the list, or you can take one at a time.
Okay, you said the Chargers first. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to call the Chargers fakers. I mean, I think they ran into a buzzsaw of Baltimore, and and got beat. But I think the Chargers are okay. I don't think they're a power team. I just think they're okay. What's the next one?
Vikings.
Vikings are fakers. I'm not buying them. I'm selling them.
Vikings won again, though, didn't they?
Man, I'm selling the Vikings, man, on a discount price.
Ah, man.
I just don't think they're gonna do it, man. I think they're playing really good now, but I don't think they're gonna be. I don't think they're gonna be there towards the end of the year.
You think they're gonna fall off, huh?
Yep.
30-47 over the Texans, which we had down as takers for the most part.
Yeah, I think the Texans, man, they didn't get off the bus, man. I think they woke up late or something because they jumped on them from the second the game started, and they just couldn't catch up.
Okay. So what about New Orleans?
I think New Orleans will be there. I don't think they're gonna win the division, but I think they'll make the playoffs because they got some talent on that team, man. Kamara, Olave, Carr when he's not drunk, and he's okay. They got some good players, man. So I think they'll be there, but I don't think they're gonna go very far.
Who did the Saints lose to? They lost.
Saints lost to. Who did the Saints lose to?
They lost to the Eagles.
That's
Chuck
right.
ain't out here. We would have known that right away.
Yeah, they lost to the Eagles, man. The Eagles put it to them, man. And the Eagles didn't play that. And I didn't think the Eagles played that well.
They didn't. It was a good game, real good game.
Yeah.
The Eagles got a much needed win, just like my Ravens did. But we'll talk about that later. Seattle. God, man, Seattle is a.
They hard, man. They're hard.
Man, I tell you what, I wouldn't bet against Seattle, man.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I'm not gonna call them fakers.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna call them takers, but I wouldn't bet.
I wouldn't bet against. I think that's the good. I think that's the good route there. Let's not call them takers or fakers. Just wouldn't bet against them, man.
Right.
Yeah. They just keep doing
they
what
just
they
keep
have
winning,
to
man.
Yeah,
they just keep winning.
And they don't have the so-called superstar on their team.
Right. Yep.
So that's a good list. I think for the most part, we did pretty good with that list. You know, three of the three, two of the 4 teams lost, and two of the 4 teams won. Now let's go to the takers. Ravens. I told you my Ravens were takers, man. They came out and they acted like it.
They came out, they played like the
They
Ravens.
sent the cowgirls home yelling.
That's the Ravens team I thought we should have been seeing from the game. I'm like, hopefully, I hope somebody got into that offensive coordinator's ear and said, dude, run the damn ball. You got the best running back in the freaking football.
That seems to me what happened. Seems like what happened. They statistics show that they ran 75% of the time.
Yep.
75% of the time. And if they even get close to that the rest of the year, I think they're gonna win a lot of games because Derrick Henry with 174 yards, I believe. Oh my man,
174 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he ran over.
He actually allowed me to win my damn game, win my first game in the league.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Congrats. You know, and he what's so bad about it is he had 2 catches also.
Right,
so,
exactly. Yep.
Yeah. So I think I can see the value in the backup, and I can't even remember his name, but I can see his value because he is a scat back and just the gear a bit. Yeah. But I just wouldn't feature him too much,
No, man. He needs to give Henry a break.
Yeah, that's it.
Because Henry gets stronger in the fourth quarter.
Exactly. And Dallas saw that firsthand.
Yeah.
Henry got one of the best. He's got one of the best stiff arms I've ever seen, man. He does. When he stick that arm out there, he doing damage. He's shedding you. He's trying to shed you.
Yep.
He's trying to get rid of you, and if you don't get off of him, he may run over you.
Mm-hmm.
So Ravens showed their true colors. Let's just make sure they keep it up. Houston, God, man, I was very disappointed with Houston. I can't even begin to tell you what happened with Houston.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm moving them back into the fakers category.
Yeah, man, it looked like you may have to because they took a whooping from the Vikings of all people.
Yeah, they did. They got busted up.
The funny thing about that is in my pick'em league, I didn't pick them.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
In my pick'em league, I did. I only lost one game in my pick'em league this week, and I also got my what you call it, the main pick. I got that too, so I did good in my pick'em league, but I must have had some reservations on the point. How many points they gave Vikings, because I did not pick Houston. Buffalo. Right. Buffalo is my ride or die fantasy football team. They're my ride or die fantasy football team. I got at least 5 players off the Buffalo team playing for me. And the funny thing about it is this Sunday, Bake said, he said, Tony, we going into the 4:00 games and you got -2 points. And he was laughing. I said, Bake, Buffalo coming up. Don't worry about it.
Right.
I said, whoever I'm playing against, and I forgot who it was, but they only have 50 or 60 some points. And I said, you're going to need 80 to beat me, man.
Right.
And they only had 60 points. And they didn't have but one player on Monday night getting ready to go. But I knew I had Josh Allen.
I
had the running back, I was loaded, and all of them performed. I wound up with 98 points and 97 points. So
wow,
from -2 to 98, 97 points, So
wow.
I'm 2-1 now. But Buffalo, if they continue to do what they're doing, and what's so bad about it, Josh Allen threw shade at Stephon Diggs at a press conference. Did you hear it?
No.
You didn't.
Uh,
It was a light shade. It wasn't no heavy shade. He just said the game was easy. I felt no pressure trying to get the ball to one person, you know, and so I kind of spread the ball around.
nice. Yeah,
He said it was a
that's
lot.
some
He said it
serious
was,
shade there, bro.
yeah. He said it was a lot of fun, you know.
Okay.
So Buffalo, he seemed to think he got a lot of young weapons out there, and right now they're looking good, and they made Jacksonville look like a college team, you know.
Yep. Which they
So
are. I mean, you know.
yeah. So the last one on our fakers and takers list is the Eagles. God, man, I wish
I don't
Chuck
know,
was here to
man.
talk about that. It was Chuck was here to talk about it, you know.
Yeah,
But
I'm gonna move the Eagles, man, back over to the faker side, man.
oh, okay, you're not a taker with the Eagles, huh?
Nah, I'm not a taker, man. Because I mean that game, man, they shouldn't have won that game, man. They shouldn't have won it. They got lucky and pulled it out, but nah, this team don't seem strong, man.
You're right.
That's why they just don't seem like they don't seem strong, man.
What's their record? Is it 1-2 or 2-1?
I think it's 2-1.
2-1. The key to a good team is to win when you're not playing well, though. And I think this week it'd be the week when I can tell you what I think about them. Are they fakers or takers?
Right.
This week will be the deciding week for me, anyway. The Dallas Cowboys. I need to talk. I didn't have them on the list, but I need to talk about them. They I've never seen a team look so good in the first game and look so bad in the last two games. You know,
Dallas is
they,
Dallas, man. I
they,
mean,
they are pitiful, but they got like I heard on TV somewhere today. The antibiotic is coming this week.
right.
Antibiotic for their illness is coming this week, and who is that? New York Giants.
Oh yeah, they'll beat them.
That's the antibiotics for their illness right there. They'll beat New York Giants.
Yeah, they'll beat the Giants. Yeah.
It's a good week to have New York Giants up there.
Yep, sure.
One more thing before we leave this segment, I'd like to talk about Kansas City and the Atlanta Falcons game. Surprisingly, it was a good game. Kansas City don't look like they're hitting their groove right now.
Nah, they don't. Atlanta look good though, man. Atlanta's played well. They played Minnesota. They played well.
Yeah.
And
the defense played very well. I think I just don't understand. And ever since I've lived here in the Atlanta area, it just don't seem like Atlanta make the right play calls at the right time. You know, it really don't. If you go back to that Super Bowl game when they were up 28-6 or whatever,
right.
and they had the ball deep into New England's territory, and all they had to do, and it was third down, and all they had to do is run forward, get into good kicking position, and the game was over. That would put the game away. And I never forget the announcer said there's a couple of things that can't happen. They can't take a big time penalty, and they can't take a sack. But one of the other guys said, sure enough, they won't pass the ball. And sure enough, he dropped back for a pass and got sacked. And so this past week,
hey, Tony, man, let's pause it real quick.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I gotta step out.
Okay, hold on.
I think the campaign.
Yeah, so the Falcons, it just seemed like they're a victim of bad play calling right now.
Right.
They got the talent. I think they got the will to win. It's just a bad play calling right now. If it's 4th and 1, I just don't see how you run lateral instead of going straight up the gut. You know.
I know. I don't get it.
And I don't understand. And I don't understand why you got a quarterback that is not mobile in there when you got a rookie quarterback that can move. Now, the only thing to the coaches credit or playing devil advocate for the coach is putting a rookie in there at that stage. How's the exchange from the center to the rookie? You know, will he mishandle the exchange? Because a lot of people don't realize how important that snap is. And but I would have put the rookie in there and let the rookie do a quarterback sneak. You know, he's a running back, and
agree. Yep.
instead of going lateral, because as soon as they went lateral, Kansas City hit every gap there was.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Yeah, they hit every gap there was, and it was all over for them. So, I think we can move past now. We can move past fakers and takers, and now we're gonna get into some nitty gritty stuff. NFL power ranking. We talked about a little bit today, or I sent you some stuff about how the league has the power ranking. And what I'm gonna do is go through 1 through 10, and then we can come back and kind of talk about and say agree or disagree. Kansas City ranked number 1. Buffalo Bills ranked number 2. Minnesota Vikings ranked number 3. Seattle Seahawks ranked number 4. Detroit Lions ranked number 5. Philadelphia Eagles ranked number 6. Pittsburgh ranked number 7. Houston, Texas ranked number 8. And number 9 is San Francisco. And number 10 is New Orleans Saints.
That list is trash. They basing that list. They basing that list off of records.
Oh, that's so sick. You know, the Ravens weren't even in there. Ravens weren't even mentioned. You know,
how you gonna have the Ravens not in there? How you gonna have Pittsburgh not in there?
Well, Pittsburgh was in there. They were number 7.
Okay, I'm sorry, I missed it. Still, Pittsburgh should be higher than that.
Yeah.
I mean, the Ravens.
I think you got the surprise is Minnesota Vikings. I know they 3-0, but really, come on.
Yeah,
they say Minnesota Vikings' biggest issue is their right guard. That's the biggest issue they got. That's what they're saying. Other than that, they're saying that they got a strong offensive team, and that Vikings could mix in veteran Dalton Reisner when he's activated from the injury reserve list. I don't get it. I don't get why they rank number 3.
Yeah, neither. I don't get that. It's because of the record, man.
Yeah, and the team that we said that we wouldn't bet against, Seattle, they ranked number 4. They were ranked number 10 last week.
Yeah, that's all record, man. I know that's what it is. They're just looking at their records.
They ranked number 30th in pass blocking, rated 46.1, 23rd in allowed pressure. They're 16th in allowed sacks per drop back. That sounds like a lot of problems for a team ranked number 4.
Right. Right.
I mean, I'm just looking at the stats and reading it, and it just sounds like a lot of problems. And then we go to Detroit, who's ranked number 5. I haven't even. Detroit wasn't on my radar at all, and I mean, I can't understand why they're ranked number 5, and they didn't put no good reason why they ranked number 5. I'm trying to go down this list and see why they rank these teams the way they rank them. Philadelphia, they said Philadelphia's biggest problem is ball security. Jalen Hurts, and they put Jalen.
No, that makes sense. I mean, he always running with the, he always got the ball in his hand. Yeah.
Yeah, he's thrown 4 interceptions already, and he's had 3 fumbles.
Right.
12 turnovers in the past 9 regular season games going back to last year. But they're ranked number 6.
Right.
Pittsburgh ranked number 7. I think they're close there. They were ranked number 12. They were ranked number 12 last week. So I think they're close to that. Their biggest problem is red zone. The new offensive coordinator haven't quite figured out how to score in the red zone yet.
Right.
I think the confidence of their quarterback, what's his name?
Who?
Fields, Justin
yeah.
Fields. I think the confidence of Justin Fields is going higher every week.
Right.
He looked real comfortable this past week. I don't think scoring in the red zone will be a problem for them too much longer.
No, I don't think so either.
I really don't. I don't think that it'll be a problem. So then we go to Houston Texans, which I had ranked pretty high. They got a problem with their offensive line. Their pressures and sacks are very high. And CJ Stroud has been sacked 11 times in 3 weeks.
Yeah, and that's because their offensive line is garbage, man.
Yeah, and that's what they're saying. And CJ Stroud can't be successful without having some time. I think his main his bread and butter is the play action pass.
Yep.
And I don't think they're getting a good ground game right now. And until he get a good ground game, I think he's gonna suffer with that line. Because if they can get a ground game and he can go to play action, that'll slow down those linemen from teeing off at him and stuff. You know?
Yeah, it reminds me of him at Ohio State. Yeah. That's what he looks like this year.
Yeah, San Francisco fell from number 3 all the way down to number 9. Their biggest problem is they don't have a playmaker. Their yak is the lowest ever. So after a catch, they're not getting any yards. They got Debo Samuels, who's injured, Christian McCaffrey, and tight end George Kittle. All 3 of them playmakers out.
Right.
Yep. With that said, and them being 1 and 2, why would you put him at number 9?
Right.
I don't understand. I don't understand that. I
don't understand how they picking stuff, man.
Yeah, it's. You said record before, so if it's record, and they are 1 and 2, and their top 3 offensive players are out, why would you rank them number 9?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, so it must not be record, at least not for everybody.
No, I think this is how the election is going. I think it's the way they make you feel.
Right.
You know, it ain't the facts. It's the way you make you feel. You know.
Mm-hmm.
New Orleans Saints, number 10. I just ain't seen enough of New Orleans. I really haven't. They say they got big time injuries. Their center is out. Their tight end is out. But they're ranked number 10.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think the Saints got some talent on that team. They just haven't put it together.
And they were ranked number 9 last week. So that's a close call and everything. So tell me what you think. Got all of the top 10. Give me a summary of power ranking in the NFL.
Ooh.
Don't hold back because I know you won't.
No, I got KC. I got Baltimore. I got Pittsburgh. I got Philly. And then my 5th one would probably be I'll take the Vikings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll kind of be my top 5. I don't want to go all the way down to 10, but that would be my
all the way down to 10. It's hard to go down to 10 because most of the teams are pretty close together now. Yep. Anyway, there's no real team. Kansas City ain't separated itself.
Right.
Buffalo haven't separated themselves. Ravens haven't separated. There's no team in Philly who everybody thought was going to be good haven't separated, and Dallas ain't even got off the snide yet. So it's pretty even.
Yep.
There's a lot of parity in the NFL this year. So power rankings, we're done with that. We're getting through it this week. We're powering through it. Now we want to talk a little bit about the WNBA. Before we get into the facts of the game and the statistics of the WNBA games and everything, I want to talk about how WNBA is still being used by politics to make a point. I was looking at a political commentary the other night, and the Republican pundit had the nerve to say that she was intentionally poked in the eye in the playoff. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
I don't even think we should give that any credit. I mean,
no.
She tried to block the shot. It happens all the time in the NBA and the WNBA. Nobody want to hear that. They're always trying to protect Caitlin Clark because that's their, that's their little.
And that's what they said. And that's what. God, man, these names. I can't get these names like I want to. The girl that used to be on ESPN, but when she said something about Donald Trump, they let her go.
Oh, you're talking about Jamel?
Jamel Hill said the WNBA and the way people feel about the WNBA is a microcosm of the United States of America. How people feel about the United States of America. They love Caitlin Clark because just like the same thing you said, to your credit, she's a heterosexual
white woman.
Heterosexual white girl out of Iowa that can flat out ball.
Yeah.
So now she caught a lot of flack when Taylor Swift endorsed Kamala Harris, and she liked it.
Yeah.
All she did was like it. And all her fans were dragging her, So she went from WNBA sweetheart to, we don't quite know about her. She like Kamala Harris, This girl's a ball player. Who cares who she want to vote for,
She got one vote, man. She got one vote.
Exactly.
No matter who she is. She could be the president of the United States. You get one vote. But they don't like it. What they want to do is they want to be racist like they are.
Yeah.
They wanted to be like them.
And the fever once again proved that while they made it in the playoff, they're just nothing close to being competitive. They got drilled this week, I mean, the other day, I think, when it was Sunday.
Yeah, they lost by 24 points.
Oh yeah, and they tried to say it was because Caitlin Clark couldn't see when she got hit in the eye. But no, Israel, they played Connecticut.
It was a basketball play, man. It was unfortunate, but it was a basketball play. I mean, do we really want to talk about? Carrollton shut her down every time they play. Carrollton shuts her down.
Yeah.
So that doesn't do her hitting her eye, man. Caitlin Clark is, and I feel sorry for her. I literally feel sorry for Caitlin Clark because I think all she wants to do is play basketball. But that's
what Jamel Hill and them said was. The thing about it is I'm so glad that she's taking all this stuff gracefully. There's a whole lot of pressure on her to say or do something crazy, and she hasn't done it yet,
She just wants to play basketball, man.
Yeah, I think that's it. She's a gym rat. You can tell a gym rat when you see one. The one that goes in the gym as soon as it opens and stay in there until it closes,
Yeah, she's a baller, man. I have never taken away her ability to play basketball. What I've always said, though, is Caitlin Clark is no different and no better than the other girls in the WNBA. There are girls that have been playing in the WNBA for 10 years that are ballers and have done the exact same thing that Caitlin Clark did. But the WNBA and a lot of these white folks around the country put pressure on that young lady that, that she can't live up to. Because the reality is that Caitlin Clark is not as good of an overall basketball player as a lot of players in the WNBA. She can shoot three-pointers.
She can shoot the rock. No
doubt. She's
doubt.
not overall better than players in the WNBA. I mean, we talk about Taurasi. You want to talk about another white woman that should be getting the praises of Caitlin Clark is Diana Taurasi. This girl won 4 championships, 3 championships in Connecticut. She got 6 gold medals. She got 3 championships in the WNBA, 6 MVPs in the WNBA, and she doesn't get half the credit. And it's because she's gay.
Yeah, and she's not pure white.
Right. So they got a problem with it. And you know, Caitlin Clark is their great white hope. She's the white girl from Iowa. She can play basketball, and they put the pressure on her. You know, it's the media's fault and those people who are trying to make her what she isn't. I mean, everybody forgets about the fact that she plays on a team that has my girl, and I know who it is, Kelsey Mitchell, because she played for Ohio State.
Mm-hmm.
Kelsey Mitchell averages 17, 18 points a game.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
go ahead.
But Taurasi has had a long career of outstanding, and whatever she do now is gravy. You know, whatever she do now is gravy. So,
my point is that Caitlin Clark needs to win something. She didn't win in high school. She lost twice in college, and she hasn't won at the WNBA. So why are we calling her the greatest basketball player ever?
Right.
So
right, we're quick to say that. We're quick to dub somebody that. We're quick to say, hey, they're the greatest. Now let's get to more serious things like the Aces. The Aces ran away with their victory on Sunday, and tonight they play again tonight. And in the WNBA, the first round is the best out of 3.
Right.
So when you lose that first game, there's a lot of pressure on you to win that second one. You know.
Oh yeah.
And so I think that Ace is gonna sweep them tonight and send them home and everything. You know?
I think so too, man. Ace has got too much talent, man. You got you got the MVP, you got Plum. I mean, they can ball, man.
MVP 3 times in a row. I mean, 3 times. She is a force on that court, man.
Yep.
If they want to talk about perfection and a girl that can flat out ball, that's who they need to put the camera on right there. That's who they need to be filling the stadium to see, because there's no hole in her game. You know?
They're not going to do it though, man, because she's not, she's not the person they want.
Yeah. And
you talking about you putting somebody on the map and making sure that they get all the credit. That's what they need to do. Put on the map, but they won't do it.
Yeah, because she is a baller,
right?
Straight baller, and she looks good on the runway when she can.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you can't say that. You can't say bad things about her there either. And she funny as hell. If you ever seen her in pregame, she is funny.
Right, you know? She is. Yeah.
Her and you get her and Colston together. Colston is a perennial bench warmer, but she's the type of girl you want on your team to keep the morale up, and she's a veteran. But you get her and Colston together, and you got a comedy show. You know?
Right.
So I love watching the Aces games. I really do, and they come on tonight at 9:30, and it's on ESPN. In the third quarter right now, the Atlanta Dream are beating the Liberty 55-52.
Oh, that's interesting.
With 5 minutes and 40 seconds left in the third quarter.
Right.
And they're playing in New York.
Okay.
That is interesting. So we'll see what happens with that. And the last thing with the WNBA is, she won it 3 times. And there was no doubt. And I think she had won it before mid-season, before the All-Star break.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
this nonsense of giving it to Caitlin, I was like, come on, man, stop.
Yeah.
It went to exactly who should have gone to. She's the best player in the WNBA.
Yep. So, state of the presidential race. Let's talk about that a little bit. God, Tell me what you think so far. What do you think? State of presidential race.
Well, I mean, without prolonging, I mean, I've said this, since we've had this podcast, man. The reality is that we know exactly why a lot of people who support Trump. And they support him because he hates the people they hate. They can't say it because they work jobs where they get in trouble. They live in communities where they'll get exposed. Trump says and does the things that they want to do. And that's all that Republicans have. There's no policy. There's no plan. There's no way of making people's lives better. It's just grievance politics. Let's find the black guy or the Asian guy or the Arab guy or whatever, the Spanish guy to be critical of. And the Haitian thing in Springfield, Ohio is just another example of find the dark-faced person and blame them for white people's deficiencies. I mean, I think I said, I don't know if I said last week or not, but obviously everybody knows I'm from Ohio. I know exactly where Springfield, Ohio is.
Yeah.
Right Dayton. And I know what type of town that used to be. And it was an industrial town. And it started to die like the majority of industrial towns in the Midwest did, 10, 15, 20 years ago. And they were in bad shape. The city of Springfield reached out and said, hey, we got jobs here. We have affordable housing here. You can come here and start your business. You can live. Come to Springfield and work in Springfield to a welcoming community. The Haitian community, legal immigrants, came there and helped Springfield get to where they are. Rebuilt the city, worked the jobs that a lot of the people in Springfield didn't want to work. Companies started to come back to Springfield, and now it's blossoming. But typical American white people, in a lot of cases, come in, use the labor that they need to use from whoever that labor is from, and then once it's back up to what they perceive as being normal, then they want to throw them out. Then they want to say that they're criminals or they're eating cats and dogs and that they're bringing the community down after they came in and saved the community. And that's exactly what we're doing now. And Trump and Vance, who have no policy, nothing that's going to tell you to make life better for you. They just use grievance politics to get, uneducated, low intelligence voters to hate people because of the way they look.
Colonizers, man. That's what they are, man. Colonizers. Yeah. And just piggyback on what you're talking about. I thought about this a lot, and this election is going to be won by the way people feel. It has nothing to do with policy. It has nothing to do with how it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with. Let's just say it has nothing to do with policy, and it has nothing to do with people doing the right thing and everything. It's where your morals and value. That's the word I'm looking for. Has nothing to do with morals and value, because the person that running a close race with Kamala Harris have no morals and value. None.
Yeah.
He couldn't even win an office job if he was in a business. They would be like, please stay away from him. But this man had found a way to get into the fabric of the most evil side of Americans. And that's what it is. He's found a way to get into the fabric of the most evil side of Americans and stay there. And they can't get him out of there. And other people say, well, when he leaves, you got J.D. Vance, and J.D. Vance couldn't lead a fly anywhere.
Right.
Nobody else can lead these people like Donald Trump is leading. Other than evil charisma. That's the only thing I can think that keeps these people stuck to him like glue. Nobody else can do it.
I hear what you're saying. I don't think that it's charisma. I really believe it's old-fashioned American racism.
Well, when I say charisma, evil charisma. Yeah. So racism. Yeah.
I think that.
But the thing is with that though, Suleiman, J.D. Vance can feed you racism all day too. rest of them can feed you racism too, but they don't respond to them like that, you know?
Well, I think because he was president, and because people saw Donald Trump before he became president. They saw him on that fake ass TV show "You're Fired," and he had this persona that he was rich and that he's accomplished when he hasn't accomplished anything. I mean, let my father give me a $400 million gift when I pass away. I'm going to be successful as well. But people saw him on the TV show. They had this assumption that he was a successful businessman. And the reality is, it's all a house of cards.
Yeah.
And we know that. And, he feeds them what they want to hear. Like, I was watching something on TV today and had this guy from Pennsylvania at this grocery store who was like, well, I made money in my grocery store up until 3 years ago when, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden became, president and vice president. Really? I mean, really, are we that stupid? I mean, there's a whole host of things that could have been the reason why your business failed or why you're not making money. Had nothing to do with a policy that was created by the president or Congress or the Senate.
Yeah, exactly.
But they go out and find these guys who want to find something, they want to blame their failure as a businessman on the policy.
Somebody else, yeah.
On someone else.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to skip to something real quick. Then we'll go back to what Donald Trump said today, which is asinine. But I'm going to skip it right now. Tell me what you think about the lieutenant governor from North Carolina and the part of stew he's in right now.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is he's ignorant, and I've said this in the past. I mean, a lot of these people, man, they're getting paid, and no one wants to talk about it. The media doesn't want to do any research on it, investigative research on it. But these people are getting paid. Someone is paying them behind the scenes to do and to say the stuff they say. The lieutenant governor of North Carolina has been a clown. He's always been a clown. But he says the things that a lot of those people who vote for him can't say. I mean, for any black man in this country to call themselves a Nazi in any way, shape, or form is asinine. For any black man in this country to say that Martin Luther King was a communist is asinine. However, we've had people like in our community for years.
Yeah.
There's always been black people, a small percentage of black people that are willing to turn their back and their face to people who share their reflection, to kowtow for white supremacists. We've always had that. That's not going to change. Lieutenant governor is the exact same way. But typically, go ahead.
But it goes to what I was saying about Donald Trump. Donald Trump says the same thing. He gets away with it.
Yeah.
He's not getting away with it. He getting massacred. He lost his whole staff, his key staff. He lost his whole key staff the other day. He don't have a staff right now. They've taken out the Republican National Committee, taking all their money out of North Carolina. And he's basically what you call a ship when they ain't got no boat or nothing. It's just floating.
Well, he's on a ghost ship.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the only one that's out there, and he deserves it. I mean,
exactly.
As I've always said, is that again, Republicans have no plan. They can't beat the Democrats on policy. They can't beat the Democrats on what's best for the country. So what they focus on is racism and grievance. And tell these people that the reason that you are living in a trailer is because of the black guy down the street, or the reason that you can't get a job is because the Spanish guy is coming across the border and taking your job. When the reality is that you're just a lazy bastard.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you don't want to go do the work that's in the community. And somebody else came in and did it. That's the reality of the situation.
Yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So let me go let me backtrack real quick. Looking at my time and everything, we're doing pretty good. But on backtrack with Donald Trump with his stupid self and the asinine thing he said today. He sat in a John Deere manufacturing plant and said into their face. He said into their face, I'm gonna tell you right now, if you take your company overseas, I'm gonna put 200% tariff on your company.
Right. He doesn't know what he doesn't.
That's asinine. And what he don't understand is those companies really don't give a damn. because who's going to pay for it? The taxpayer.
Right.
That tariff that he's charging them is going to be passed off to the consumer.
Right.
And consumers are going to buy John Deere's because John Deere is an American staple. It's just like saying, like, remember when they did luxury tax on Cadillacs and luxury cars? They did these luxury tax on, and they thought people weren't going to buy them. They still bought them because they're staples in the community, you know. So now you're gonna. They economists said if he put something like a 200% tariff on most goods coming into America, it would cost the average family $2,600 just because of the tariff. And we're not going to talk about how much it's going to cost because goods and services are going to go up.
Right.
No, they're not going to bring it down. It's going to make it go up. So the election is not about policy. I don't know why the news is covering it like it's about policy. Like they keep saying, well, people want to know more about Kamala Harris' policy. Kamala Harris got policies everywhere. She talks about policies every day. Donald Trump talk about policies, and it's like it's like he talking about the three bears or Mary's Humpty Dumpty sat in a tree. You ask him about child tax credit, and he go off of intention and start talking about Russia and China. You know, I mean, he doesn't have a coherent. They don't have a coherent policy plan. And the crazy thing about it, it don't even look like him and JD Vance talk on a regular basis.
Look, Donald Trump is stupid, and I've said this from day one. He's stupid. Literally, he's a dumb man. He doesn't read. He doesn't understand policy. He doesn't understand the way the world operates. You know, and JD Vance is just a clown. JD Vance is somebody who's chasing
clout chasing as a young
clout chasing. He wants to be somebody that's remembered.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, this guy, I'm like, dude, okay, you're married to an Indian woman. The majority of people who are going to vote for you don't like her.
Exactly.
Thinks that she should be thrown out the country.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is why you don't see her. You hear him, but you don't see her out there. Why isn't your wife out there talking? Why isn't your wife being seen with you? Yeah. It's because he knows that the majority of people who vote for him don't like her because she's Indian.
Well, Donald Trump ain't being seen with JD Vance either. I don't think he liked JD Vance. I think he's regretting the fact that he picked him, and he's just gonna say, let me just not be in the same area with him most of the time. That's what it seems like to me. You know,
that's because he let the billionaires in this country determine who his vice president will be.
Exactly.
The dude that owns PayPal, Peter Thiel, he's the one who bought JD Vance his Senate seat in Ohio, and then he bought him to be on the ticket.
Yeah,
exactly. A billionaire. I mean, you know, people look at Vance. Oh, he's from Ohio. Yeah, but he went to Harvard, and he was out in Northern California as a
tech guy.
A tech guy. Yeah. And then he comes back to Ohio, and all of a sudden he's I've been around the old Ohio and hanging with the farmers and that old bullshit ass act that you typically get from Republicans.
And those are the same people he talked about like dogs and stuff. So
right, exactly. So look, Kamala is doing an excellent job. She just needs to continue to do what she's doing. Don't listen to the people about go do her interview. They don't want her interview. What they want her to do is start getting into very detailed specifics so they can build their shows and their viewership off of being critical.
Oh man! Oh God!
That's what they want. They want her to sit down.
About it. You took me right into my next point. Joe Manchin.
Right.
Joe Manchin, the prima donna of all senators. He just want to be in the limelight because she said that she would get rid of the filibuster to codify Roe. He said, I'm not going to endorse her.
Who cares?
Yeah. You know, he's like, I would never endorse her. She knows that the filibuster is a staple in America, but you don't care that the Republicans got rid of it so that they could put Supreme Court justice on the bench.
He realizes it.
it's not a problem for him when they do that, but it's a problem for them because she wants to codify Roe, and all of a sudden he was just, I mean, he jumped out of the, he looked for a camera to talk in so he could say, I'm not going to endorse her. Who cares, man? You won't go to endorse her anyway. You just looking for a reason not to. They asked him every kind of way, point blank, backwards and sideways. Why haven't you, if you don't like Donald Trump, you think Donald Trump is a threat to America, why haven't you endorsed Kamala Harris? Well, I might not do anything, endorse anybody. I might write a name in there. Who cares, man? I'd be so glad when he get out of Senate, man.
Let him. He's gotten run. He's done. The people of West Virginia. The people at West Virginia don't want him. He's getting run out of West Virginia. Nobody cares. We know the Kamala's not going to win West Virginia, so who cares what Manchin says? No one cares. Yeah. He's just trying to stay relevant for the next 3 or 4 months because he's going to get crushed in his Senate.
Is he running for Senate?
He's not even running. Huh? They're going to have a Republican for West Virginia.
Yeah.
Now, you're going to get a bunch of races.
Because ain't no Democrat going to sell their soul like he sold his soul.
Well, no Democrat wants. Who cares about West Virginia? West Virginia is a welfare state.
Yeah, who cares?
All the blue states, all the states that we're from that pay money into the government, West Virginia gets it.
Yeah.
And no one cares. No one cares about what they do in West Virginia. Nobody cares about those coal miners that are fucking killing themselves running into a coal mine. No one cares. You choose to do that. You choose to live the life that you live in West Virginia. Don't come to me and want me to bail you out or have sympathy for you because you choose to go into a damn cave that can kill you.
Right. Exactly. Okay. 1 minute. 1 minute. What's on your mind? What's the thing that just pissed you off this week, or one thing that really is on your mind that you're worried about?
I'm not really worried about it, but I will say that it's always on my mind and it ticks me off, and that's Elon Musk. That guy is the biggest the biggest con artist in the history of the world. I mean, he's essentially conned the world. I mean, everybody thinks he's super smart. No, look him up. People think, oh, well, he was he made Tesla. I mean, not Tesla, but SpaceX and great companies. No, he didn't. He bought a successful company. They were already successful. What about a Tesla that's better than any other car? What other electric car is Tesla that much better than? I see a bunch of people driving around and it's an ugly car.
It is an ugly car.
Right? It's an ugly car and it's an electric car. There are lots of companies that do electric cars.
Their first Tesla was the best looking car they had and they went away from it.
Right. And and this guy is constantly using his platform as a disinformation campaign.
Okay.
And everybody just sits around and acts like this is normal. This is a guy who grew up in apartheid Africa. You think he forgot about all the stuff that happened in apartheid Africa? All the gold and diamonds that his parents and grandparents stole from the Africans to get him the money he gets. Then he comes to the United States and, people say, oh, he's got SpaceX. You mean the SpaceX that United States taxpayers pay for?
Exactly.
Because that's where the majority of the money comes from to run SpaceX. You think the engineers and the technical people that work on SpaceX aren't NASA?
Yeah, yeah.
They're NASA. NASA just said it's easier, less expensive for us to pay this clown to do the stuff that we're doing. He's like, oh, we sent this space up in the ship, into space. Really? You did that, or did NASA do that? Or did NASA provide you with the money and expertise and the technology to get you up there? He's a welfare queen, and we need to do something about the disinformation that is being spread on X.
Yeah. Well, my big thing is it's a combination of Trump and his wife. First is Trump. I can't believe the polls today said that American people trust Trump by 11% with the economy. This is a fool that just said he's gonna charge 200% tariff on goods and services coming into America, which will make you pay more money, which will mess up the economy. Will just mess up the economy. But you trust him more. He also said he was going to extend the taxes that he already did and even give more taxes. Now, how do you think it's going to go when you don't tax Social Security checks for all these baby boomers out here? Now, I'm okay with that because I get a Social Security check, but it's not good for the economy. So you're not going to tax that. You're not going to tax tips. You're not going to tax overtime, and then you're going to charge tariffs. But you trust him with the economy. That's stupid. So I guess they interviewing the wrong people or something. These people is, like I said, it's a feeling. It ain't truth. It's not truth at all. It's a feeling, you know. And the last thing is, why in the midst of all of this going on, Ivanka Trump is in her own little world trying to sell a book that has nude pictures of her, and she's talking about it, you
Well,
know.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Here's the thing with his wife. You talking about Melania?
Melania, yeah, not Ivanka, yeah. Melania.
Here's the difference with Melania, and I ask people this all the time. What has she brought to the country? What has she brought to the country? What talent did Melania bring to the United States that we couldn't got from any other immigrant around the world? What talent other than being married to Donald Trump? What other talent has she brought to the United States? She hasn't brought anything to us, other than being, laying down with Donald Trump.
Yeah, exactly.
If you want to get rid of immigrants, that she should be the first one, because she's not bringing anything to this country. I mean, she's charging $274,000 to go and speak to somebody about what? What has Melania Trump accomplished in the United States that's worthy of anyone paying her money to listen to what she has to say?
Exactly. So that really gets on my nerve, and it's just in line with the whole family of grifters,
Grifters, yeah.
whole line of family of grifters getting money any kind of way. Okay, so we're right at our limit here, and I think we did a good job. We had some good topics today. It was you and I today. We didn't get anybody else to come on with us, but that's okay. Tell them where they find us at.
As I said earlier, once we get our shorts out, which should be in a day or two, they'll be up on social media on our X platform, which is Gents Making Sense, as well as Spoutable, Gents Making Sense. Our whole video will be up on YouTube along with the shorts. Please subscribe. We're doing a good job of getting people to subscribe to our content, and we're only going to get better.
Good. Little backstory on production notes. I haven't did a lot of editing, because I wanted it to come off as real and not fake. So I haven't edited a whole lot. So our videos are what we feel at that time. And like I said, and like Suleiman said, go ahead. If you don't,
do it now, or I'll hunt you down.
Okay, y'all. It was a lot of fun. We'll see y'all next week as soon as possible. Okay.
Right.
See you, Suleiman.
All right, brother.